Hello, Zheera.
Hello, Bedir.
How are you?
All good, all good.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Great to be on the podcast
How's
finally.
Thank you. How's life?
Life is good. Life is good.
Yeah.
Today was exciting. There was some protest going on. I
Yeah.
don't know if you knew.
What protests?
This is the University of Sulimani.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a protest every day there. But last year, I think it was fall semester. That was my final semester, basically.
Yeah.
At AYS as
Yeah.
a student.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the last 2 weeks, I just skipped the whole thing, just go to join the protest.
protesters?
I love them. I
Yeah.
love the protest.
And
So
the-
yeah, I mean,
they are
like,
protesting because of their payments, right?
yeah,
They're not
yeah,
receiving their
the
salaries and everything.
stipends. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's the students
Yeah.
basically.
Yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, today they were marching towards the city, basically.
Yeah.
From like the road, like the main road.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like tear gas, there was like water cannons, like police brutality.
The usual, huh?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was
It
good.
was
I mean,
good.
yeah, it's good to see people alive and like doing something.
Mm.
So yeah, that's how's life going, I guess.
I
At
guess
least
يعني.
today, I guess today, yeah.
As well, yeah. So, university.
Mm.
So you graduated.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So I have finished my degree,
Mm-hmm.
did the whole thing, so no classes left.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I still, you gotta, pay,
To-
to
to
get
get
the
the
degree.
certificate, yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't paid for my last semester yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I haven't graduated yet.
So only that, and you are done.
This spring, yeah.
Yeah.
This is it.
So how was the marketplace after graduating? Is it good?
Good question. Good question. So I'm a literature graduate. Basically.
Okay.
I mean, like, the market is open for you if you are creative, and
Mhm.
if you are doing English, you gotta be like really creative in what you're learning,
Mhm.
and then how you gonna apply that to the real world, and how you gonna make people, know that there is important for their company.
Yeah.
So basically, when I'm, right now, yeah, I work as a translator, as an interpreter at a place,
Mhm.
like I don't think we should say, call like
Yeah,
name,
okay.
name names.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I work in this company.
Mhm.
It's a foundation, basically, non-profit.
Yeah.
But I mean, they had a lot of translators before who were not actual majors in English language.
As you are at AOS.
Yes, yeah. But and then, like, the quality of their work, you could see, this was not a quality that you could say, okay, yeah, I can really publish this, and like
Yeah.
have like a
Like
foreign audience for it.
very expert like translation.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
like,
It
advanced
wasn't
academic
Yeah, yeah.
translations. Yeah.
exactly. It wasn't that. So now when I go in, and then I as a literature graduate, I understand the language, the second, the third language, whether it's like Arabic or English.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring to them like a very a high quality, and then like and then as a literature graduate, just a person who knows English.
Yeah.
So you just gotta make them understand what is the difference between a person that speaks English and a person that is an actual graduate of that field.
Yeah.
So it really depends.
Because like
on,
you learn the methods, all like
Mm.
the approaches to
Mm, mm, mm,
translation
mm,
and
mm.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Like you learn how to be creative, basically, in it,
Mhm.
and then you learn how to differentiate the types of language you are using, the linguistics of it,
Yeah.
of which field that you want.
Mhm.
So for example, like usually if you are doing publications for the whether it's journalism or or TV,
Yeah.
like the language usually should be understandable for a high school or even less than a high school person, like
yeah.
like somebody with that degree,
Yeah.
because you want everybody to understand your message.
Yeah.
And then like there's academia, of course, and then there's entertainment, and then it goes on, and then there's children language. So these things, like like when you have a literature graduate,
Yeah.
you're gonna have the benefits of
Yeah, yeah,
knowing,
of course, yeah.
So exactly.
I also remember like in the 12th grade there was this story about like the translator, and
Mm.
like it also talked about like tips on how to translate, but you also like were talking about like conference translation. So it
Mm.
has to be immediate, like you have to on the spot translate
Mhm.
for someone else. And like one of the things that like this piece was talking about is like how you need to sometimes convey the message without like only translating the word for word.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
So
course.
like from Arabic to English, like there was like أكل العنب حبة حبة. So like when you translate it to English, you wouldn't say like you eat grapes
Yeah, one by
one
one.
way. You would say
Yeah.
like step by step or
Step by-
something like that.
exactly. Yeah.
Because you have to convey the message more than you have to
Mm.
only translate the specific words.
So
Because that's
did
the
you?
important thing.
So you went to public. This was like the public school
It
curriculum, or
yeah, it was like because like the curriculum is applied on both schools. Like there are a couple of private schools who have like different curriculums, like some Turkish universities or something like this.
See.
But even like the private university, not university, high
Schools.
school, yeah, high
High
schools,
schools.
yeah. But for like even private high schools, they would like stick to the curriculum provided by the ministry, but like they would have the advantage of like better classrooms, better instructors, something like this. Yeah, and it would vary like on like how good that private school is by like the grades that the students have. So like they want to get good students, so they would make a name for themselves,
I see.
so that more students would come because students want grades. And
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
So like you would see it's like football teams, how they would like publicize themselves through like the good players that they have.
Of course.
So they would put the pictures and the names of the instructors that they have and the teachers who are like been teaching in this field for 30, 40 years. Like the teacher who taught me English in the 12th grade. You know about the story.
Of course, same thing here.
He taught my mother like 30 years ago or something like this. Same instructor, like same subject, same everything, and for the same grade. But he's an amazing like teacher. Yeah. So this is like how it is. So of course, like when you get the method, like the theories behind translating, of course, you would be better than someone who just knows the language. Yeah.
I'm guessing like we both went to so like as a person who went to like public schools, because you asked this was like
I went to a private high school.
The whole thing, because
but it wasn't a different curriculum. We also studied like the same curriculum and everything. Yeah.
But for me, I mean, like the transition was very difficult and strange from public school to private
to IOS.
To IOS right away.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I was lucky.
Just for to note, like, did you went to a private school before IOS or
no?
So it's all
never, it's all been all like
70 students in one classroom. On one desk. So like
state-owned schools.
The whole thing, the real deal.
We are not with our private stuff. Until now.
Yeah.
But and then from public schools, when I came to AUIS.
Yeah.
Which was I think it was a good decision. I mean, like
this was 20 what?
2015.
2015. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even have a beard back then. It was only a goatee. So
Okay.
Yeah. So that means it was a very long time ago.
Very long time.
Ancient
like
times.
You can see. Yeah, and like I always ask this: was it? Did you graduate from high school with a good average and chose AOIS, or AOIS was like a second option after you didn't get into the schools that our like parents mostly want to, like doctors and engineers and all this?
No, you see, I was not gonna continue with school when I graduated. High school.
You weren't convinced about the idea of higher education.
I mean, like I had no idea like what is this, like why should I do this, and I just had like basically no path in life. I was just a hobby, just like out there, just like
enjoying life, nature.
Like I wanted like to have a very hippie life. I know I wanted to do something to do with digital art, like whether it's like movie productions or like music, or this was like kind of my dream. Like this was what I was thinking of. Like I don't have any technical knowledge of it, but like, I just wanted to to do it. Right now I do have the chance to do it a bit, kinda. But anyway, so I didn't like, so I did not care about school. My average was terrible.
Okay.
But still, if I wanted to do English literature in public schools with that average, I could have still done it. Because English was my English grade
was pretty good.
That subject was good. However, my parents, they really want me to come to AYS because like they are both teachers, and
so they know the value that this university
exactly. So they knew if I go to a public school, with the person that I am, like this person that doesn't care about anything, my future will just be gone. Like there will be no future.
Yes.
So but other than that, I mean, like if you know your thing, like I don't think it will make that big of a difference. Like there will be some difference, of course, in your education.
Yeah.
But if you're doing a public school or private school, like if you know your thing, you know your thing. But for me, like I had no direction. So they put me here, and then APP. I did APP.
One level or more than that?
So I got accepted in level 2.
Okay.
But because I had no knowledge of writing academically, that's why I was put in level 2.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was speaking it very well. The teachers were surprised that I was,
so fluent.
In in level 2, until they saw how I write, and then they were like, now you know why you are here.
So I mean, this is better than like students in like foundation who don't know how to speak or write.
And then and then I did level 3.
Yeah.
After level 3, I did the TOEFL exam.
Yeah.
And that's how. So I didn't have to do level 4.
Yeah.
So I came to UG in 2017, but I think it was fall 2017 if I'm not wrong.
Fall 2017.
If I'm not wrong.
Yeah. And like I recall that from the APP instructor, because I also did APP in 2019. Like the course was longer than 10 weeks.
I mean, it was a
because they condensed it now. It's only 10 weeks.
Yeah. I heard about the change of plans now they have in the whole curriculum, like the whole system of APP.
So they removed level 4. Now it's like called reading and writing 100. It's in UG.
It's in UG.
Yeah, but it would be counted towards your GPA. So you would take it, but it's not like
same thing happened to us back in the days when we had like math 100.
Yeah. It was math 100.
That's still going on. Yeah. But actually, before us, or maybe before my duf'a, before my class, even math 100 was counted for them as a class. Yeah. So the first semester, I mean, like the first semester, I was also doing bad. It was only around the end of my years. I think that the second I think it was like the second, the third year where I got I really fell in love with college. With what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And I just loved what I'm learning, what I'm studying, and all that. And that's what I got serious with it.
Okay.
But then I guess I mean, like the first few semesters I was still just again the same thing, like the morning you go out to for breakfast instead of coming to class. You come back around the afternoon, and like what's the problem is that you meet your friends at uni, and then you guys decide to not
to do uni anymore.
Let's go breakfast. And then you come back to one class, and then just sit in building A upstairs, just talk, and then around the evening, all right, time to go to that one, and then you go do that too. And then the next morning you wake up, you have the headache, of course.
Yeah.
And then you come to uni, you are so tired
because of talking so much.
Yeah. And then because you have the headache, at uni you're about to go class, and you're like, no, I'm so tired, let's go have breakfast. And then
the cycle continues.
I mean, like the whole circle just
goes on. I have to expand on some of the things that you said. So first of all, you talked about your parents knew that if you were put into a public universities, one of the public universities here would end up terribly, because this is one of the good things that AIS does, which is forcing students to make it to class and to actually study.
Yes.
Because the poll it got kind of diluted during COVID and everything.
That's true.
But before and now after COVID, the policies policies really strict. You have to attend 10. You have to be absent only 10 classes.
Yes.
Or you would
8 classes for some of them.
Because for two times a week class.
Yeah.
But that's a really good thing, because I hear also from my friends whether in public or in private universities, in Basra down south, about how they don't care about attendance that much. So you can basically just not go to classes and go to exams, and if you can pass, you can pass.
That's it.
Yeah. But that's one of the good things that they did. Also, this is a really nice policy to have. I mean, it's not nice for us, because we have to, but
I know.
Yeah, just that, because here is the thing. If you attend classes, you did most of the work. Yeah. And if you attend classes with the mentality of attending, you're not just going there to fill in the blank of your attendance, but like to actually learn, you kind of like did most of the job. You only need to review a bit, and that's it.
True.
Yeah, because if you are on your own, you have to make yourself explain to yourself, which is sometimes not the best thing, especially for difficult courses and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you have to go. And you talked about like the hanging out excessively during uni.
Yes.
Was it throughout like your entire uni journey, or just for a period of time?
So yeah, I think they call it squats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the squad, I changed a couple of squads, couple of groups.
Yeah.
Each group was different, but each time it was getting more wild and more crazy and more just not care, just party.
Yeah.
So the last group I was in, like, it was
made you hate everything.
It was, I mean, it was too much, even for like, a party guy like me. I just couldn't, be just reckless, let's say.
Yeah.
I mean,
even for you, yeah.
Yeah, even for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, like, when you come here, there is also, so when you come from a like public school, or like from like a economically disadvantaged background, it is a bit it's not a bit, but it's really difficult for you to party as much as everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, first, you cannot afford it, and second, you cannot afford the time. Like, you should be somewhere else working instead of partying. And then, like, the next day you cannot afford failing classes because you don't have money to come back for it.
Yeah. And I think also, like, during high school, like, the way that we grow up, it's like, okay, just finish your high school, and you can party at uni. Like, even your parents would tell you, like, just finish high school with a good average, and then like uni, like after you get to uni, like most of parents like don't even care about what grades you take. Like, just pass on, and that's it. You did like your high school, that's it. So that's why I think like students like keep it, pushing it down the partying and they would explode.
Like, let's do it
at uni. But it's different from one person to another about how much they can do that. Because like also for myself, like the first semester, which was like a year ago, fall 2021, we were just going back from COVID for like what, 2 years, I think.
Yeah,
from
2 years.
2020 from end of 19 till 2021. So like imagine like having all this like something inside of you that you want to put out there.
I know.
And like just as soon as you get into uni, like you also like got back to like where you were at high school.
Like,
even worse than high school, because like high school you would go to school in the morning and like see people, but with COVID you didn't even have that.
No.
So like you advanced one step and you got back 10. So when we got here, like fall 2021, like, man, it was like the crazy days. I think for an entire week we spent it. Do you know Vengeance down in Magnus? Yeah, we were like taking attendance there. Like the owner of this place, like when we were late.
But
we would go there. We would play Rocket League or like play some other games for like hours and hours and hours, and not even giving like down about classes, because like it was crazy back then. But we couldn't do that for more than 2 semesters now.
No, it's impossible. Like that will ruin your college life.
Yeah, basically. First of all, because like I see how much my parents like put in the effort to make the money to send me to this place to get. So this comes into mind, and like you own it to yourself that since you are here, you must like benefit from this experience. And to be frank, like this kind of lifestyle isn't sustainable for a long period of time. Like you are not doing anything for yourself. You are just enjoying the current moment. That's good. That's fine. Like you need it from time to time to enjoy the moment. But like you need the hard work. You need the
especially
discipline.
In this country. Like nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly.
So really
like even if you did all of this, it's not certain that you will make it or like do something for yourself. But if you keep hanging out, like unless you have really rich parents or like really powerful background,
like you don't have to care about it.
Yeah. I mean, then you can do whatever you want. But like otherwise, you have to like make it yourself. You have to put in the hard work. And actually, like after a while, you start appreciating that more, because like it's not instant gratification. It's
Yes.
like it's delayed. It's like it's the good grade that you get after
Yeah.
like a hard study. It's like the gains that you put in after like taking care of yourself, your food. Because like even with you can see it with like your food habits. Because at uni, like for the students like my case who are living like in the dormitory, so like we're distant from like our homes.
Yes.
So like that home cooked meal isn't available for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So you have to take care of it. Like, and for most of the time, like most of the students would go into like restaurants and like try that because like you can't blame them really. You don't have that much time. But if you look about it like that minutes that you spend or like 15-30 minutes that you spend cooking yourself a meal, it would be much better for you and like for you would even feel better because like last semester I even talked
you
about
put
this
the labor in it.
Exactly. You can go to as many restaurants you want. It's gonna make you feel shitty at the end because like you are eating you are waiting for the food, you are paying tremendous amounts
too
for
much money.
too much and it's not as good as something that you
Definitely
put
not.
in.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But you know, like when I got to AYS, actually, I came here as an IT major. By the way,
to make the parents happy or something like this.
No, I don't know. No, again, like I just had no idea what I'm doing. So I was just there, and then I was like, IT was cool. So I was like, oh, IT, let's go IT.
Now software is cool. Like now you see software is the cool thing right now. I think it's going to be pharmacy next semester because they're starting pharmacy next semester.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I heard. I heard.
So I think that would be the next hot thing at AOS.
I see. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I have some friends coming over for farms. Like they're just trying, like transitioning from like other universities to here. But yeah, and then after IT, I don't know why. What was the reason exactly? But I changed the major to business, and then I did a couple of semesters in business too.
Because like you love capitalism and like you love business so much.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah,
very much. Very much.
I know, of course.
But anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was in business. But like, again, I mean, there's also like another thing.
Yeah.
Like universities, these universities especially, like they don't like there's like tons of government classes, but they don't like they don't encourage that type of politics to read not anything like radical, like it's more focused on a liberal approach. Exactly. But again, but it was still because of this university that I got really involved in politics, activism, and, I got more into feminism and like Marxism and all kind of stuff. And now I'm a devout.
You are a devout man to the cause.
Yes. But again, I think it was actually the second semester. I was taking English 102 with this amazing person. But again, like I don't have to name names.
No, you can name names. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want to,
but so it was with Dr. Truman Hardy. So it was criticism, like literary criticism, I believe. Oh no, sorry, it was argument. Literary criticism. We did it semesters later. But I think it was through that class that I got really involved in feminism. And then it was because of feminism, like when you read about it, a lot, you realize that it just cannot be done under a capitalistic system. Like whatever freedom, let's say in quotations freedom that you have for women, like in a capitalist system, there is still other woman that is being, or other man that is being oppressed for their gender, for their class. And then like that's where I got into more leftist ideas, like to see what is more out there to fix this problem. And then like finally you get into communism, and then like what is the Marxist view on feminism, and what is the proletarian feminism. And then like, and that's what I landed eventually. But it took me until the last semester, honestly, because again it was party after classes, and then it became, and then I had to support myself. So because like half of my
You run out of money basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So half of the tuition that I have paid here, so half of my family could support me.
Yeah.
The other half
Was on you.
had to
Yeah.
come from me, of course. Like again, like
Yeah.
we adulting, like we have to.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So and then I started, just after class, it was just work. Like I couldn't, I was not sleeping, the whole night, coming to
And
class.
I have a
falling
question
asleep,
about
yeah.
like during this
Yeah.
period of your time, like were the people who you were hanging out with or like partying with also in contact with you after like you became absent from the parties?
No, of course it disappeared
Yeah,
right away. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's my
He is
thing.
not fun anymore.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's
he's just
working. What is
working.
working?
What is
Like,
working?
why? It is hard.
That's one of like the sad things about uni, because
Yeah.
like at some points in your journey here, you would feel like, oh my god, I know so many people, I have
Yeah.
so many friends,
Yeah.
but
And
like
then
yeah,
everything
exactly.
disappears.
Yeah. You would eventually like get down to like a couple, one, two,
That's
three,
it.
yeah.
Exactly.
And those one, like they don't care if you are partying or like working,
No,
they just
no.
want to.
It's just
you
good.
because you are
Yeah, it's just good connection, good
Yeah,
vibe. That's
yeah.
it. Like doesn't matter what you guys doing together. But yeah. Anyway, so I had, but it was good because I did not have any distraction anymore. When I was like thinking about a big group of friends that I have to meet on appointments.
Yeah.
Like or like I have to text all the time. Like there's like tons of group chats. You gotta be in. Like it is just like so much.
It's so much effort. Yeah.
It's so much effort. Yeah. Like to have friends, honestly. But again, I mean, like I am an again, like I'm an extrovert. Like I love people. I love friends. I love it just it. Like, it
Are
really
you an
excites me.
extrovert? Or this is the new terminology. There are
Oh,
like
there's new things.
Yeah. So like an extroverted introvert or
my
an
God.
introverted Yeah, there are like so many stuff by now. Yeah. So are you
But
like
doesn't that just
no.
kill itself? Like it's just like are you mujab salif or
Yeah,
salif
it's
mujab?
just I mean, but I think like it applies because like there are so many labels nowadays. So like if for an extroverted introvert, you are like an introvert who enjoys hanging out. Yeah. But for an introverted extrovert, you are like you are an extrovert, but you also like appreciate your downtown.
Interesting. It feels like IT classes.
I mean,
back when I was in IT, I had no idea what's going on.
like
in those
like
classes.
10 years ago, like
Yeah.
your parents would either say like هذا يحب يطلع هواي وهذا يحب يقعد بالبيت.
That was it.
Yeah. No, there are all these terminologies to understand and everything. Yeah. So yeah, you were talking about like getting into work, and did you like was the happiness or like the joy that you got from like working these excessive hours or like managing between your job and like other things?
True.
You felt more satisfied with that? I think it's more satisfaction than happiness.
I think I was forced to work. I never wanted to work.
Okay.
I still don't.
Okay,
But
blink 3 times
I
if you need help.
No. I think the problem is it is the type of works that I like and the type of work that is available.
Mm-hmm.
So I love research work. Like this is like I enjoy it. Like I would do it on whatever. I love journalism, and I'm really happy that I'm doing journalism on the side right now. Like I have a freelance journalist. That thing, like I will do it for free. That's how much I love it. Like I love investigating. I love interviewing people. I love writing down stories. I love editing the story and like just working through it.
Yeah.
And then publishing it and then like having people's review it. So that's a job that I really love. Research, same thing. I love just going into the field. I love like reading tons of materials on some subjects and then like turn it into like a sound argument and then publish it and like help somebody with it or somewhere with it. So and then there's translation. I mean, like translation is great. It is good, but it's not as it's very creative. But it's not as you don't have as much as freedom as the as journalism and research because again you are already writing down something that has already been written, but it's just in another language. So that was I mean that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm like, but that's the best thing after these two things, after research and journalism. But there's also like documentary. I love directing documentaries. I did at the place that I work at. Even though like in the translator, but like that's my position there. I still got involved with the production side, and like I had this idea for a documentary. So I did the research work, I did the connection, and then I came back. I pitched the idea, like this is the whole thing. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna interview, and like they loved it. And then we did it, and like I was the project manager, basically the producer. I couldn't be the director, but the producer for the whole thing. And then it turned out well. Like the bosses, they were like, yeah, this is probably one of the best documentaries that was done here, and that made me really happy. But again, like I did that, just out of love. But at the same time, it is a bit difficult to continue doing that because it takes a lot of time and efforts.
Yeah.
And then like you have so many other responsibilities, like so many other debts that you have to pay. Like, because you studied at a private university.
Yeah.
So I would love to continue doing it, but I just cannot afford the time for it. Yeah. So but then so I'm like slowly getting involved with it, with those kind of stuff that I like. But coming back to your question, I think back when I was still at AYS, I think it was very, very difficult for me, and the teachers they realized that I'm doing my studies and also working at the same time.
Yeah. So they were a bit helpful.
They were very understanding.
Yeah, I remember one of my professors like during COVID, because like she said, if I know these are like difficult financial times for everyone, and like if you have like you are working or like you are doing something part time, you can tell me and I can help you with deadlines and everything.
That's
and
good.
actually, like when I started volunteering for like AIs back in the day, I talked to her and like she said, okay, I can like whenever you need like an extension or everything, or like you need to come to office hours, I'm here for it. Like I can help with everything.
That's good. Yeah.
So like there are some like really considerate instructors.
Yeah. Really. So like I mean like it really makes your life easier, because I mean the problem is like you are not like talking about work, having not being able to keep up with school because of work. It is just something that you have to do. Like this is not like me just wasting time going to have fun. Like if I don't do this work right now, I'm not going to be able to be in class. But because I'm work, I'm not doing well in class. So it was this was and like this was what I was explaining to them, because they were like asking me, Zheera, why you are falling asleep sometimes in class. Like I was not actually sleeping, but like they could see sometimes when your head just drops down and comes back.
I know.
So
I've been in AYS long time.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I was having that a lot, and then. But yeah, so they were like, they were talking with me. I mean, like even if it was just like a small conversation, just like just like encouraging me, like okay, you are doing a great thing, keep on going there. I know it's difficult, but like this is like this is the college life. This is the style. Sometimes for some of us. So I mean that small conversation that was good enough, for me to have like enough encouragement to keep on going. But yeah, I mean, I did pretty much sacrifice all my grades to stay in class. Yeah, and then, but I'm still, I finished my last semester was fall 2021. Yeah, and so that was the last one. I dropped a couple of semesters too, so I can go work and then come back. So yeah, I think I dropped 3 semesters.
Yeah, that's also like one of the good things about like the leave of absence. You can use them.
You can do that. You can do that.
Actually, did one during like spring 2021. Because like it was meant to be like online, so I didn't want to just spend money for online classes. Like
True.
Like you're kind of learning, but like it's not worth it. Like you're not gaining anything.
Choice,
but then like they said like you can few students can come and like into classes if they are at it was like a whole thing.
No,
but just
better
like
than nothing.
Took 1 semester off.
That's good. That's good.
Now it's interesting because like I'm taking classes with like people from like who joined after us.
Yeah.
And I like these people so much, so it's very good even though that we joined before them, we are taking the same classes. So that's
I know.
That's
that's one of the cool thing about AOS. Like the community itself is very involved.
Vibrant.
Like everybody just knows each other because of the diversity of classes and all the diverse ways that you can take classes.
And it's like forced diversity. So you have to take classes from everything. You have to take Civ. You have to take English. You have to take electives and everything. If you want, you can minor and stuff.
Yeah.
So you are always jumping between like classes and like professors and like groups of people and everything. And it's really nice to just take a fresh look, because like if you are majoring in something, you would be so involved into the materials of like that one subject or one field. So like when you go to a different class and see how like different majors are taught,
and perspectives,
different perspective, it would like you would enjoy it because like something different, and it's nice to have like this fresh mindset.
That's so true.
Yeah,
so true. Yeah, I mean, like, again, like going back to the community at AOS, I think like this is what I love about it, is that I think it's like one of the, if it is not the, like maybe it's, I think it's like the only place in the whole region that has brought together as many diverse group of people.
Yeah.
And like just made like it was like the environment itself, it is really a safe space that you can actually be friends together and like make big groups of like different backgrounds.
Yes.
Now back in the days when there wasn't as many students as we have now, the groups used to be more diverse because you didn't have enough group from your city or like from your
so you wouldn't like just exclude yourself and
exactly
just
so you had you had to bring in, like, if you were guys were five friends, so the mindset so like let's say you have just like somebody from the south, from the center, and somebody from the KRG, like all of these people, I mean, like again, like they are just people, like we have the similarity and the differences, and so like the people who are more similar, they become friends together. So you had so you had more friends from different backgrounds, from like different like groups of people, but then like right now, because there's just like so many people, it is much easier for you to go
just
to
find your people and
exactly just go especially somebody that is speaking the same language as you.
It would be easier to hangouts.
Usually it is easier
to speak your mother language and
exactly that's so true. So that's that's one of the things, but still, even with that, even like with the option, with like having like easier way of communicating, like easier way of understanding each other, since because of the background and like the understood stuff.
We have an unwanted guest here.
It's fine. They have something to add.
Yeah, of course.
And so, but still, so even with that, still like we see that the diversity, and like the inclusion, like is still going on here. So that's a cool thing. I mean, like, not saying like the whole thing is just is. It's not like it doesn't have like any problems, like any prejudice that is not going on. But still, compared to the whole region itself, it is good.
It's good.
It's ideal.
It is ideal. I want to ask you something. So sorry. Since like you are involved into kind of the media and like research fields here in the region, and especially in Kurdistan, especially in Suli, for me, like, I really appreciate the scene here, like the art scene, the
art,
the way that movies are like done here, like domestic movies. Like even though I don't speak Kurdish and like I can't understand, but like I can see the billboards and how much like effort is going to like making a campaign to like publicize that movie or that TV show or that like art exhibit.
Art exhibitions. They love art exhibitions here a lot.
So that's really interesting to see, and like it's so encouraging for like upcoming artists and upcoming people who wants to get into the field to see that these things do exist here in the region. And it's not it's not as developed or like as advanced as somewhere else, but it do exist. So that's so nice. And actually, thanks to you, like we've been to some of these like events, and like it looks promising, and
Yes.
It's really interesting to see that we have these things in Iraq. Like the art exhibition the other day, it was like something out of this world.
Yeah,
it was amazing. So yeah, like this is so nice to see, like in this region, and like I highly salute everyone who's like putting any effort into making this this happen, because like if we want to be frank, like art isn't as like in high demand here as in somewhere else. Like you can blame like the previous generations, you can blame whatever you want, like because of the wars, because this is not like a stable country. We have been like in a war that lasted 8 years. This is more like this is World War I and II combined. So it's gonna like affect everything, and like 2003 and everything that happened after that. But yeah, so you see these like starting flares of hope.
Yes, I see.
Yeah. Which is promising, and like I wish to see it like not only in this region, but throughout like the entire country.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because people now, due to the internet, they are open to everything, which is like it has its advantages and disadvantages. One of its like disadvantages is that you are losing your identity.
Exactly.
It's all being like a blend of everything.
Yeah, there's a flow that you can just jump on.
Exactly.
You know, go, and it sells because that's what everybody is following, right?
Yeah. So like when you see this in this region, it's inspiring.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you hope that it.
Like spreads and continues.
And continues.
Yeah, and like, especially the city, our city like Sulimani, it is so it's famous, for being like the city of culture, the city of education of the whole Kurdistan basically. There has been always a great attention given to art and poetry here, and so it just. And also, like, because, like, so tomorrow is the birthday of the city. It's like the anniversary of its establishment. I think it's 230 something, 36, 38. I'm sorry, but, like, I'm sorry, my city. Like, that's, I don't remember exactly.
Suli is very upset right now.
I know. Yeah, and so because the city is very young. And there's like a cool fact about the city. When, the Baban emirate, they tried, they moved their municipality, from somewhere else to here, to establish the city. They wanted to, not to have a village that develops into town and then into a city state. But they made a city that later, became some sort of a city state during Sheikh Mahmoud, period when he declared himself as the king of Kurdistan. So when they made the city, they did not have enough, people, population to run it as a city. So and then 200 years ago, we didn't have prisons or jails as much as that we do have right now. So instead, what they had exiling people, and so their idea was this, like whoever you guys are exiling, don't ask them, to Turkey, to India, to somewhere
just
else.
Come
To the city. Like we're gonna accept everyone. Like so, like all these criminals, just like outlaws, everybody. They were just like taking in everyone. So the city, developed a very strange and diverse, a culture. But at the same time, it became, some sort of, so you had a lot of people around you that just did not care, and and that helps creativity in some way, because it comes from freedom, it comes from not having fear, it comes from wanting to try
because like you
new.
already got your second chance, so
exactly,
you are willing to give it to other people.
Exactly. So you had to be creative, and then this culture just developed, but at the same time like the people running the city itself, they had they actually were pushing for the art, so it was sometimes sponsored by them, for it to spread. And then when it goes, it spreads like that, it becomes cultural. So like the generation gives it to the next generation. Like, you don't have to sponsor it anymore. It became part of your culture. So I mean, like tomorrow, the way that is celebrated, I mean, there's like tons of exhibitions going on everywhere. I mean, like in the tobacco factories, one is going on. Like in other galleries in the city, stuff are going on. All the big halls, like in the or like the theaters, all of these like they're all occupied, for artistic stuff. There is like nothing, there's no politician coming up, giving a statement, gathering people and giving a statement. Like they're gonna do it through their social media
of
thing.
course,
Like and they like sponsor it to get some likes because people don't care anymore. But anyways. But still, like what like that's how like it is celebrated, and I think like that's one of the a few things that I really appreciate about
the city.
about the city itself. Yeah, I mean like there is art, and like even in this I mean like even in this situation there is art that you can enjoy.
So next I want to talk about the movies club.
Oh back in the days, yes,
and how the torch had been passed
for generations
and fall 2021. So get us through the whole
sure.
story. How did it started? How much did you hide the idea for? How did it last? Everything.
Our story goes back to before I joined in iOS. So 2013 I think a friend of ours, her name was Lola.
Okay.
She had the idea and she also established
the movies club.
The movies club.
So okay. I have to add this to my archives to know like the history of movies club at iOS.
We can maybe we can find her one day. We can have her on the podcast.
That would be great.
Yeah,
like,
I think
if you are in contact, that would be amazing.
And
did she pass the torch?
No, not to me directly.
Okay.
But this continued for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then by 2017 when I joined, the club. Or I think she stopped running the club, or she was graduating. I believe she was graduating.
Okay. Yeah, because 2013 till 2017, that's 4 years.
Yes, that's a lot. Sense, exactly. So another, friend of ours, his name is Jutiar.
Yeah.
He stopped running the club.
Okay.
And that's where I got really involved with the club, and I was like, coming to the what do you call it?
The meetings,
the meetings, the events, and it was really, it was a very chill idea, like the idea itself, it was chill, just like come play a movie and chill, like that was it, that was the whole thing, that was my motto for a very long time, just come chill with us, that was it. And I was like, like all these other clubs, they ask you to do things, we ask you to do nothing.
Just come here,
just sit just sit, do nothing. So I mean that's how I was promoting the club. And then
maybe I would follow this approach.
You should.
We're not asking for anything,
just ask you to do nothing. Please do nothing. And then Jutiar ran the club for, I think it was his last semesters too.
So this is 2017.
So 2017, I think he continued until 2019, I believe. And then from 2019, or it was only, I think it was 2017 that it was one semester that he was running. It was only one semester. Because I got on it in 2018.
Okay. So 2018 you are running the ship.
Yeah. So like almost for 4 semesters. Something like that. So 4 semesters. We were running the club. It was great. It was going well. We loved it. I think you guys are now doing it at AG05 usually.
Yes.
Yeah, so we used to do it at Building B.
BB111?
BB111, yes.
We did the Halloween event there. It's such a nice spot,
It really is.
But I like AG05. I don't know, for some reason, like the name of that.
AG05, AG05 is famous. It has so many.
It has a nice tone. Like
exactly.
AG05. Okay. AG05.
Yeah.
BB111.
No,
so long to remember. AG05. It's in front of the smoking area. So
back in the days it was infamous, right? AG05. But that was
for what?
That was a long time ago.
We will talk about it later.
AG05 was something for itself.
Was something for itself. So how were the events managed? Was it like a survey or just dictatorship? How many events did you run? What did you do,
so basically our idea was a movie every week. We used to do it on Wednesdays.
What time?
We would start at 6.
Okay.
So
6 to 8.
Something like that. So usually it was mostly dorm students that were joining us.
Because they are the one who live at campus.
Staying here, exactly.
That's actually one of the issues with like the club right now. It's like it's dorm oriented. Oh, sorry, it's okay.
Oh, sorry.
Because like the dorm students are the ones who are joining at like
Yes.
these late times, but also like you wanna find a middle ground with like the other like AUI students who needs to go home.
Yeah.
So you have to either choose to make it like earlier during the day, but
Yes.
I don't think that 12 or like 1 p.m. is a good time to watch a movie.
Plus, it is too bright.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like any of the study halls they're gonna be that dark for you, to run like the data show, whatever, the projector.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like the events, the way they were run, we used to choose a movie, and there was no surveys basically. But yeah, so like from I think back from 2013, that's how it was run until now. Usually old movies were doing better than
new ones. Yeah.
So I remember playing Training Day, and it was one of the best
attendance.
Yeah.
Do you know, like I also like think about this a lot because like with good old movies, like not only old movies, like good famous,
movies,
good old movies, like the people who saw them already, they want to rewatch them again and really enjoy the experience. And like the people who haven't watched them yet, it's on their list.
Yes.
So they feel like they are accomplished something. Like I'm watching something that has been on my list for ages.
We prepare for them.
Yeah.
So they don't have to do anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Again, it's like
it's the nothing club.
It's the nothing club. Yeah. But I remember one time we did a survey.
Yeah.
They asked us to do a survey, and we were all like, "Okay, let's do a survey." So we did a survey.
Do you remember what movies were like?
Of course.
Yeah.
I gave a couple of movies. Okay, a couple of great movies, and then one of them was Aquaman.
Yeah.
And like I think every single girl in the club voted Aquaman. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to imagine why. Like.
Yeah. I still don't know why. Well, like anyways, still thinking about it since that year. I'm still thinking. About it. So yeah, everybody was like voting for Aquaman, and then like it just went really high. The difference was like this was like 18% of the votes, and like the two
for that one movie.
Yeah.
So he said it's gonna be an explosion.
So I was like, it's gonna
Is BB 111 even enough for that?
I was like, we have to change places. Oh my god, I'm gonna have it outside. And then like we go into the movie, and I'm like expecting all these people who voted to come.
Yeah.
And then there's only 3 people, including me. There was 4, and by the end of the movie, it was only me there. And like that was the only time we took a vote, for to choose a movie, and it was the worst experience ever. I just sit there and I hated the movie. Like, oh my god, like there was nothing going on. This guy was just like going to the water, coming out. And then he was just like fighting, and then that was the movie.
Oh my god,
it was so bad.
Yeah. Come on, get to the water.
And then I still had to watch it
alone.
Alone. Like I had no one to complain to. I was just sitting there all alone, just watching this terrible movie, and like just thinking about the state of humanity, like what has
what went wrong that
I got here, like
yeah.
And so after that we went back to to full on dictatorship.
Yeah, one of the good things, like I've been running this club for 3 semesters now, and so we never got to like an empty event.
That's good.
Like even if we got low numbers, we didn't get to 0.
Yeah.
Because I always have like a couple of my friends joining,
True.
so like they feel sorry to leave me alone.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like I've tried both, like this, doing it with a survey and doing it without, and they both have their advantages and disadvantages.
I see.
Yeah. Because like at the end of the day, you are still the one who's choosing the movies that would get to the survey. Yeah, so it's kind of like your choice. But also like the thing that I found that we are doing right now, it's kind of a mixture between both systems. So like we would, for like the Halloween events or like for big events, with like I do events with like the social science departments or the English department. So these events would like be just we would pick the movies. So like me, the instructors that I'm collaborating with for the event, we would choose it. We are doing these amazing events every semester with Dr. Khadija. Do you know?
I know, of course.
Yeah. shout out يعني to
The last movie we watched,
yeah.
oh my, it was amazing.
And
It was
like she would bring us these like very amazing documentaries. Whether like last semester we showed Exterminate All the Brutes, and this semester we played like the other rollback movie.
And the James Baldwin one.
The James Baldwin one. So that's how it goes for like these big events. But we also need to do like the weekly events. So that's where like the survey comes. And I found it interesting that we would like, I would suggest a movie, or like you would suggest a movie, and like Dima would suggest a movie.
Yes.
And we would also like pick movies from like members who want to like ask us for a movie that they want to play.
Yeah.
Because like the interesting thing is like for a member, like if he or she would like, or they, if they want to, they want to suggest a movie.
Yeah.
So they would get to recommend a movie. I would put it on the spreadsheet, and I would add it in the survey. I would tell them like, if it's on the survey, tell your friends to pick the movie that you want to show, and this way, so you would like get more like publicity for the survey and like higher votes, and then like the person who's suggesting the movie would like mostly come when bringing their friends with them and everything. So that would be nice, and like mostly it's up to you. You have to like know what works, and like, I've seen also like good old movies work better than new ones.
Yeah.
Or like new ones who are like really mainstream movies. So also like I think people enjoy watching those, because like here's the thing with movies, it's really difficult to satisfy everyone or find something that everyone likes.
Of course.
That's why there are like a few like good movies that everyone agrees upon. But for the most case, you are either going to be on the mainstream like regular viewers, or to the
indie stuff,
artistic movies that like a smaller range of people would enjoy. So
but they really enjoy.
They really enjoy. That's the thing. So you would have like to find something in between. Like I remember this semester we showed Scent of Women by Al Pacino, and it was amazing, man. Like the attendance was like out of this world.
I know.
Something great. So yeah, good old movies.
But let's talk about like how it was, the torch was passed to you.
Yeah, the torch was passed.
So, it just happened for itself. I think this was the semester that we came back after the lockdown. Yeah.
Fall 2021.
Yeah. So, I was, I think by then, I think that was my last semester, but I was like really busy. I could not run the club anymore. So I was looking for somebody else to run it. I was thinking of my
This is a problem that I'm like postponing till my last few semesters. I don't want to get into it. Like
this is like your will. You don't know when you're gonna die. Well, but you have to write it at some point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just like that. I was at the club day.
Yeah.
And I still had no idea, like, what we're gonna do, because I know I cannot, run the club. And like, all the people, I was like running it alone basically, like there was nobody else. So yeah, like I was just like, I just went to the club day, without anything.
That's fall 2021.
Yeah. And then, I was like, I'll just go there, and then like, I'll have something, like I'll figure out something later for the club. And then for it, to be
I remember that day. Like that day, it's amazing.
Me too.
My life changed after that.
So when I was like walking there, I was like watching the clubs, and then like because I've been here for a long time, there was a lot of people that I didn't like, but like I was still seeing everybody, and everybody was like being had like so friendly with each other. Like it's the club day. I want your name here. I want to like get your email, like, to add more members.
During like club days and like uni days, you would have to be so much into the socializing.
I know.
You would basically.
And like like people don't like each other, but just go to each other's clubs, like just like so you can come back to my club. When
Exactly,
I and then and then like we were. So I think the event was being done in this, the hallway.
Because like they wanted the outside so that COVID and everything.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good spot.
Yeah.
So in the hallway, outside there, in front of building B, and C.
And the dome.
Yeah, and that's why I was like walking, watching the clubs, and then like by the end of the the whole event.
I can show it to you.
Yeah.
Let me show it. It's 12th of September. So 2021. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So what I see. Oh, yes.
I can put it. I can put it.
Yes. But yeah. Put it on.
Yeah. I can put the montage after. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So this is like.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the I walked by. So by the end of the like all the clubs, like they were like they had their booth. By the end of the booth, the last one it was yours.
Yeah. Well, saving the best for last. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I saw that one. It was like a very good. Just like
relief. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it was like a movie. Like how movies is like the last thing. Or like they try 3 things and like the last one is the thing.
Yeah. It wasn't planned. Like you can finish and I would tell you how we got there.
Yeah. So I just I was like just walking through them and like all these boring clubs. None of them are fun. Like except for movie club. So
I mean, I would take it.
Yes. So I got there and then it was written like just tons of like movie everywhere and like there was a posters and like
like you can
yes and then it was Paradiso.
Yeah.
And then I realized like this is the rebirth of the club basically in a new form.
Yeah.
Then I was like really happy about it, and then I went back to Mr. Lavan back. If like I think he's working.
Yeah, he's out of uni. Right?
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I think he's somewhere better.
Yeah, somewhere better.
He's not dead. Yeah, he's somewhere better. I
had Lavan in the podcast, man. He's amazing guy.
He is. Yeah. He's amazing. He's an amazing guy. But then I told him like Mr. Lavan, like it's fine. Like I think like it is in good hands.
Yeah.
We can just leave.